Hey guys, just thought I'd make a quick informational video on different techniques that are used to build showers in our area, Southeast Michigan. I've seen a lot of failures since going full-time as a tile contractor, and there seems to be common denominators associated with each of these failures. So the first thing that I've seen is an old pan liner method. So when you get a custom tile shower done, it's a shower pan. We're not talking about the pre-made stuff. This is specifically to a tile shower floor with a curb and everything like that. So the older standard, and it's still used today, is a pan liner. So you see those PVC pan liners, they're like very thick, rubberish PVC, and they go up over the curb and down in the pan, and they connect at the base of the drain, and they have a screw-in drain piece, and the top is usually a circle because of the circular shape. Some are square, but mostly it's a circle, so you can kind of tell what you've got in your house. If it's a circular drain, it's probably one of these styles. So how these are meant to function is you have a mud bed on top of that pan liner. So this is the pan liner for this demonstration, and you've got a mud bed, which is just sand in this case. So it's designed for the water from your shower to get through tile and grout, go into the drain, but then it's meant to do this, allows water into the mortar bed. And you're supposed to have a pre-slope. So on this situation, this is the wall board. You should have mud under here, and then the pan liner. So when the water hits, it goes through the mud, hits the pan liner that's got mud underneath it, and then slopes towards the drain. See, a lot of people, or a lot of the showers I've seen that have failed, don't have this slope, and I'll get to that in a second. It results in some pretty musty showers. They just don't drain. It's kind of just a cesspool in the bottom of the mortar bed. But the first failure I see, usually, if it's the worst, is that there's wallboard inside the pan liner. So you got your pan liner here. So if you're imagining your shower, there's studs, and you have your wallboard going down over the pan liner. So it drops down in there. So it's actually going to be exposed to the water. And I've seen a lot of times when this technique is done, it's usually more of a DIY type of deal, and they don't use cement board. They'll actually use like a gypsum based or gypsum cord board with maybe a waterproof surface. But when you dip it in the pan, the water can get from underneath and go straight up through the wall. So that's not good. And also they might use like a fiber cellulose, like HardieBacker, not Durock, HardieBacker, which is like a fiber board. It's different. It's not quite cement. It's more a bunch of fibers woven together and condensed, and that is a sponge too. So just to kind of demonstrate how this goes, is even if it's pre-sloped and everything, eventually this mortar bed's going to get wet with continued use. So you got some water in there, and it hits, and then see how it wicks. This is kind of an elementary demonstration, but this is exactly what you see in the wall. The water over time creep, and then you eventually see it in the tile. Your grout lines will stay wet forever, like indefinitely, because this wallboard is saturated. Because you keep using your shower, it's not like you use it and then 2 weeks later you use it again. It's every day, if not more than once a day. It never dries out. So that's one possible scenario. The other one is you'd have your wallboard out here, outside the pan liner, which is good. That's how you're supposed to do it. Unless you use the proper foam board or something like that. But your wallboard's out here, but you don't have a pre-slope, and get this cesspool of water. And I just did a bathroom where the homeowners offered to do the demo, and they uncovered this, and it's just kind of disgusting because the water sits in there. I mean, you got soap scum, you got skin cells, you got. I've had a situation where there was creepy crawlies coming out of the corners where the wall and the floor would meet. It was like a seasonal thing. They we just spray bleach down there, and it kills them. I'm like, but anyways, this isn't a bad situation as well. It just kind of sits there and festers. It's not good. So there's ways to mitigate this, and if you go back in my other videos on my page, you'll notice that I've transitioned to mud. So it's your stud, then tar paper, like roofing felt, like what you put under your shingles. That's just a cleavage membrane which keeps the mud off the studs. And then I use metal lath, and then 2 coats of mud for a total of 3/4 inches of mud. So it's a reinforced, not quite concrete, but it's a reinforced mortar wall. That's 3/4 of an inch thick. That's what I use, and it's integrated with the mud bed of your shower pan. So it's a very solid unit. And then to totally mitigate this whole soupy situation, I use a topical waterproofing that is integrated with a bonding plan drain. So it's Flow Effects, and it's actually a drain. I'll open it for you. This is the best drain that I've had the pleasure of working with. Laticrete makes one, Schluter makes one. They all kind of work the same, but this one seems to be the easiest to use. It gets lower to the floor than any of them. The hole doesn't have to be enlarged. You use a 2-inch. If you have a 2-inch stub sticking out of the subfloor, you just use that, and you don't have to cut like a 4 1/4 inch hole like you do with the Laticrete drain, and then it's still too high. This one you can get nice and low. And so how this would go is this goes on your mud bed, right down on it, and then you take your waterproofing and you go right over top, and it goes all the way to the edge. So from here all the way up your walls, it's a continuous watershed. There's no seams, no nothing. You use all the directed topical waterproofing systems, and it works seamlessly. So the most water you can have under your tile is just the backside of the tile. Like, it never gets into the mortar bed, never gets behind into the wall mortar. So it dries out super quickly, and I think that helps maintain the tile and grout over time, because it does dry out because it's only got maybe a film of water beneath it, as opposed to in the old school way with a pan liner and a mortar bed, you could have several inches of mud that need to dry out between uses. And if you've got more than one person in your home, it's not happening with the repetitive use of that shower. And that's when you kind of get those nasty caulk lines along the bottom of your shower. You just keep throwing caulk in it and thinking it'll help. Try scraping it out, it doesn't really help the problem, because that's kind of where everything's coming out, surfacing. That's how it goes. This doesn't have any weep holes, nothing anything like that. The water goes under if it goes under the tile, runs straight into here. It doesn't build up, doesn't accumulate water in any way, shape, or form. And it's got a bunch of attractive grates. These are just a few other styles. This is kind of an older brochure, but it's great stuff. So if you'd like to use this kind of system in your home to replace maybe a dingy shower that you've currently got, or if you would just like to put a brand new shower in your home, any way, shape, or form, please feel free to give me a call. I'd be more than happy to explain this in person and show you exactly like the mud I use. I can show you more videos and stuff, but if you're interested, please message me on Facebook, give me a call. Thanks, guys.